where the judicial branch of Pennsylvania's government met for most of the 18th century, and many lower courts also used it, some of which would continue meeting here well into the 19th century. But today, the room, like the rest of the building, has been restored to its appearance around the time of the American Revolution. During those years, you would have seen some statue symbolizing justice, like the one that's up above the judge's bench today, something that you can find in a modern courtroom. And then below that is a 1785 painting of the seal of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And then the judge's bench, the witness stand, boxes for juries on either side of the room, room for both a grand jury and a petty jury to be in panels here. And then a table for the lawyers, and an iron cage similar to this one for the defendant or the accused. This is known as the prisoner's dock, and in the 18th century in America, if you were told to stand in trial, you would literally stand in an iron cage or sometimes a wooden box. Something like this is still used in Great Britain for criminal trials. It's used in other parts of the world, but it's disappeared from American courts. By the early 19th century, you see fewer and fewer of them. The only other major change to take place in American courts are when we see symbols like this one removed. And this is what originally hung above the judge's bench for that painting of Pennsylvania seal today. This is a very different symbol of authority. It represents the authority of really just one person, the ruler of Great Britain. And in 1776, that person was King George III. So this was a symbol of his authority. On July the 8th of 1776, it was removed, just after a public reading of the Declaration of Independence on the square behind us, one that drew close to 2,000 people. Sometime after that, we know that a group of local militia, some Philadelphia associators, are sent into this courtroom with orders to remove the coat of arms of George III. They will take it down, drag it through the streets about 8 blocks west of here to a place called Center Square. Anybody want to take a guess what happens to the king's arms when they reach Center Square? Yeah, they're tossed on top of the bonfire. And it is more than just an act of vandalism. It's a pretty clear signal that a lot of people who just a year or two before had been loyal British subjects no longer thinking of themselves that way. They were now beginning to think of themselves as citizens of a new nation, and some of their political leaders, men known as the Second Continental Congress, meeting in the room across the hall, would have to begin putting together a government to hopefully better protect American rights and liberties. And when we go across the